Hello, and welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still sharing.
How come every time somebody reach out to us, they always say, and I'm still sharing? Um, Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with us, and we thank you for coming back, and we appreciate you. If you're new to our channel, please like, subscribe, and share our videos. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as far as announcement goes, as you all know, this party is getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Every week we talk to you all.
It's
So
Pride
we're
Month.
getting excited.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's been Pride Month.
Yeah.
Although we're not celebrating until July.
Right.
But
We're having the
stuff has
party
been
in
going
July
on.
because
Right.
San Diego has the parade in July,
Right.
but we know Pride is June. So
But
happy
this
Pride.
month they had Black Pride.
Yeah.
So that's happening in
Yeah,
June. So yeah,
yeah.
there's some things. There's still some Pride activities that's going
Absolutely.
on.
Absolutely.
But we are looking forward to meeting each and every one of you all who are coming out. So yeah, any announcements for you?
Other than Pride, and on a professional note, just to remind you guys that we are not
We're not professionals.
But our show is just for casual information, entertainment,
Purposes.
and just to connect one-on-one with our sisters, our black sisters, all of our sisters, and everyone else under the umbrella. So hello. Welcome, but people are like, well, she sounds like a doctor, but I do play one on TV. That's all you need to hold on to. But
Everybody
really,
always tooting their own horn, huh? I got you.
we're feeling very silly today. Actually, we're feeling very tired because we
Absolutely.
had quite the weekend. Quite the weekend.
Absolutely, something going on. It seemed like every day of the week last week for me. And that was outside of working.
Yeah, I know. You know how you do so much of your stuff. You tired when you go to work.
Be mad about going to work. You're like, why I got to come here? You
Again.
don't say right.
Look again.
Y'all interrupting my schedule.
Yeah, and I'm the good wife because I get up about half an hour, sometimes an hour before her, and coach her out of the bed. Come on, baby, you can do it. You can do it.
She doesn't have to coach me.
Fix a lunch for her, feed the walk and feed the dog, and walk her to the car. Come on, baby, you can do it. Somebody's got to pay that mortgage.
I know that's right. I know that's right. But yeah, so let's get into shout outs.
Shout outs.
Yeah, so first shout out goes to Julia C.
Julia C.
Thank you for being a subscriber to our channel. We really, really appreciate you. Next is Stephanie K. Thank you, and thank you again for also being a subscriber. I have not heard from you, Stephanie, so let us know you're still there, you're still watching. Hit us up, even if it's just to say hello.
Please do. Yeah.
And last but not least is Rich Auntie. I'm not sure where the name came from, but let Auntie know that her niece, aka my child, tuition is coming up. So we're going to reach out to Rich Auntie.
And help a sister out.
That part. So, so those are all of our shout outs, and we will get into today's topic.
Whew.
Right. So today we are talking about
This is a hard one.
my ex owes me. So what does that mean? We will get into what your ex owe you.
Yeah, and we mean it just the way we say it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go deeper. Rosa sometimes keeps me here, and I be wanting to go deep. I mean,
I'm gonna let you start so you
submerge
can
your
get
ass.
deep.
No,
and
but
come on up.
But if deep means real, that's what we're talking about. Because today, the title. Rosa and I were going back and forth on the title. But the bottom line is, y'all know how when we break up, stuff still ain't over. It should be over, but sometimes we leave a lot of stuff hanging, still just hanging out, not taken care of. We walk away from houses, cars, jewelry, sometimes children, pets, just all kind of things because, hey, I don't love you no more. You hit the door, but whoa, not so fast, my lover. who going to finish paying for this whatever? So we were talking about what happens when the relationship is over and your ex still owes you some money. She's got some financial obligations. The two of you have incurred financial obligations, and she act like she never signed the paper. Those kind of things. And
when you leave, it's easier to do that though. But go ahead.
yeah, and especially if you're the one who decided to leave. Yeah. Baby, we still got a $4,000 mortgage. Bam, we in California. Yeah. Okay, so I don't care if it's 450 cents or whatever, but chances are, if you've been in a meaningful relationship and things progress to the point that you guys loving each other, living with one another, sharing the same domicile, you are incurring some kind of financial obligations. Right. However it went down, whether it's, I'll pay the 60%, you do 40 because I make more than you, or I'm only going to contribute 25% because that's all I can do. Something went down. Unless you are a kept woman, and I haven't met too many of them for realsies. I'll keep you for the weekend, but I can't afford it every day.
Right.
So the old Sharyn, but what we want to talk about today is being fair when things are over.
Right.
They're over.
Right.
And oftentimes we're holding on to, we are prisoners of our own emotions and our feelings and the love we have had or do have and continue to have for this person who has broken your heart. But that don't mean she got to break your bank account too.
But it may not necessarily just be money. She could owe you an apology. She could owe you some of the stuff you left over there, and she don't want to give it back. It could be anything that she owes you. But if your ex is an ex and they owe you,
and they got an attitude,
you need to be fair about it.
Yeah, I don't care if it's the key to the boat or you borrowed my grandmother's heirloom jewelry, whatever it is. You're right. It doesn't have to be money, but oftentimes it is.
Yeah,
it is something of some kind of value.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I don't care if it's the thing like I let you use my, let you wear my Rolex and it ain't yours, sweetie. Actually belongs to my mother. Can you please bring it back? Hell with you and your mama. Whatever nastiness, because ain't nothing worse than a woman scorn. Yeah. And it doesn't matter who made the decision to leave or if you invited her to leave and change her address. Or I remember one time I had broken up with a very nice woman, and she was like, hey, just because you have changed the way you feel about me, I'm not changing my zip code. I'm keeping the house. I hate when that happens. But we were able to, in that instance, work it out, to be fair. And even though, it's hard being fair when your heart's broken. Mm-hmm. It's hard to be fair with somebody who has basically pulled the rug from under you. Yeah. It is, but we're trying to be sane, sober, fair. How do we navigate those very difficult situations? And I'm talking to everybody in lesbian land and far beyond. Y'all have been there. Right. You know how we do. Especially I'm talking to my little U-Haul lesbians. We fall in love and move in together within 67 days.
I know that's right.
Now, do you think we can detach that quickly? No, because things get messy. Mm-hmm. Feelings are involved. Things have happened. You want to make stuff even more difficult. It is when children are involved. Yeah. So now you got to make decisions for someone other than your selfish ass. And it doesn't matter who pulled the plug, whether it was her or you still got a new chapter in your life called the breakup. Yeah. And we're just asking to be fair. Back to you, sweetie, what do you want to say?
Well, you said it doesn't matter who pulls the plug.
Well, the situation is the same.
Right.
Well,
I get that. But I'm saying when you say that somebody owe you something, let's just say it's money. Oh, let's say, you bought your girlfriend a car when y'all got together. Mm-hmm. And now it's time to go. Did you say you want the car back if y'all were to ever break up? Because then, do they really owe you?
No, a gift is a gift. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about. I don't mean the things that you gave.
Define what the gift is before the relationship ends, because sometimes somebody may think it's a gift, and another time somebody may say,
Well,
well, I'm not paying for no car to, she's not with me, and blah, 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 blah.
right.
So
Well,
then, that's something
so
you need to discuss when you,
absolutely,
or
but
when you loan someone some money, or if you own a timeshare together. Like, look,
oh Lord,
we
the
break up.
timeshares.
What do you want to happen with this timeshare? I mean, nobody gets together to break up, but it may happen. So those are the conversations you have to have.
And to begin, absolutely, and that's part
when
of
everybody's in love. Have the conversation.
Right. It's kind of hard to have them conversations when you messing up those sheets.
Exactly.
Baby, this is not the time to talk about the mortgage.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about that. At each other and then leaving. They don't want to talk about anything. But when y'all together and in love, that's the time.
Well, and you're absolutely right. Before things go from 0 to 5,000, that is the time. How many of us actually do it? And then don't get me wrong, there are women who are very well healed, as they call it, who got some serious resources. Mm-hmm. So it's like, no, you don't get the beach house at Malibu. Okay, I said that we can use it, and actually it belongs in my family. So what makes you think that you're gonna walk away with part of the beach house? Right. That ain't happening.
But that's the being fair part. Like, you didn't come in with that.
But it doesn't. You've seen the uglies.
Oh no,
we have seen how people can be.
But I'm just saying. I mean, if you didn't come in with it, why do you expect
you're gonna leave with it? Because, and guess what? Some people are in it to win it, and they come in. They always. You ever see? You got some friends who always leave with more than they came in with. Like, I know that have only had 2 pair of sneakers. You know what I mean?
Now she got a whole collection.
But now look, all that and red bottoms too. Damn, how she work that kind of magic, but I mean, there's people, and that's not even the purpose of today's talk, but there's people out there to come and get over and say goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, I love you. The more you give me, the more I love you. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. If that's what your MO is, we're not talking to you. We're talking about people who have honestly and just clearly have fallen in love, living together, have lived together for some time, whether that time is 1 year, 2 years, 9 years, 19 years, or 36 years. But something has changed. Something has shifted. You are now drifted apart, and you've decided to live your life without her. How do you break up fairly? Well, I'm talking material things. I ain't talking about the emotion now. How do you break up and share things and equally distribute them and be able to, I can, can I leave loving you? I can if you're going to be fair to me. But if doggone well, you ain't paying the rent since Obama was in office. So, or the mortgage. So why is it you think when you leave that you're going to get half the equity in the house?
Right.
I don't understand that. That's crazy math.
Right.
That's crazy math. But as Rosa said, and you're so on point, sweetheart, you all need to have those conversations so people ain't get their face broke and the cops ain't you ain't calling cops at 2:00 in the morning because she won't leave. And I know your other girlfriend here. You know what I mean? I know you've been seeing Sonia. It can get ugly. It can get messy. And often it gets very messy. And it can get violent. And y'all have seen it. Y'all live the real life. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But before we get there, as Rosa said, y'all should have the conversation. Mm-hmm. How about this? How about when you and her move into your late mother's house?
Yeah.
Why do you think you get half the house when you leave? That was her mother's house that the mother left to her. Why you think you get half the equity? Sometimes people be pulling some interesting games out there, and it's not about the material things. It's the emotions. Oftentimes people are just angry that the relationship has failed.
Yeah. And they're trying to hurt each other. So, I get that portion of it. But when you say, why do you feel like you get half of the house that her mom left? That's kind of murky, because if you're married to the person and you've been in that relationship a long time, then you've accumulated
things together,
a lot of things together, and that would be part of that. Like, if her mom left her the house before y'all got together, that might be a little different.
Well, okay, all right. Well, let's say let's create that scenario. What happens if when I met you, your mother had already passed and she left the house to you. You move in with the new love. Y'all lived together for 13 years. Things went offline with each other. You decide to leave and you say, "Oh, and you need to give me some walking money." And this is California. We do believe in, we made up palimony. I think that was the actor Lee Marvin. Palimony. So what happens if she was living behind the Dewdrop Inn hotel when you met her, and you pull her ass up, move her to La Jolla or whatever nice place you living at, and she has become accustomed to a lifestyle that you introduced her to, and it's now your responsibility to maintain it. And she'll say, "I will leave, but you need to give me $200,000 for walking money." Mm-hmm. "Oh, I ain't going nowhere because I've been with you for 13 years and I consider this home my home too." Okay, y'all ready for all that? I'm sorry, am I talking to the right people here? I see it go down every day. And it doesn't have to be big and large and, like I said, you're hanging over a cliff in La Jolla. I don't care if it's a small, 800 square foot condo. And as we speak of condos, you know what lesbians do? We surely into timeshares. I've seen people break up over the timeshare. You live in one place, but they got the timeshare, and they arguing over the timeshare because, like, I want to bring my friends to the timeshare. She wants to bring her friends to the timeshare, and y'all can't work it out because I don't want to see her with nobody else, and blah, 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 blah. So we get crazy. Right. It's not about the size. It's not about the value. It's the principle, the fact that I don't want one. I'm mad that the relationship is over because whatever's going on between the two of you with this breakup, it is not the material things that's tearing you up.
Right.
It's the emotions. It's the emotions that I no longer have you. But now I don't no longer have you and I no longer have it because, she likes driving around in that Mercedes Benz and that BMW that you got her, right? And who's going to take the BMW from her and tell her to Uber it?
Oh, they don't ever take it away. What they do is report it stolen. Oh.
Y'all know what y'all be doing out there in lesbian land. Y'all be like, pow, pow.
They report it stolen, and then she gets pulled over, and now she got to render the vehicle because it's in your name, whatever.
Oh, it gets embarrassing. It gets ugly. So here we go.
And messy.
As Rosa says, y'all need to talk about those things. Some people actually do talk about those things, but often we so excited about finding somebody, got somebody in love with somebody. Oh, we can take care of it later. We can take care of it. She wouldn't do that to me.
But right, I'm not even talking about day 1, day 2, day 3. When y'all start accumulating stuff, or even just deciding to move in, who's paying what? Okay, if you leave, what does that? Then I'll put it in my name. You put the electricity in your name since you paying it. Whatever it is. Just start that conversation, because when you start coming together and start accumulating things, then that's when you need to make that have that conversation. I remember when I was married to my kid's father, and when we were divorcing, and before I left the home, I was going to say, okay, well, I'm going to just get half. We're going to sell this and da-da-da-da. But then I thought about my kids, and that's the only place that they knew. So in my mind, I really wasn't going to ask him for that. But he came up with this thing. When we moved from D.C., he had bought a home about a year before I got there. So his mom, quote unquote, supposedly had given him the down payment. So all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, wait a minute. Well, Rosa, you're not getting half of this house because you still owe me $60,000." Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, "Nope, your son owes you $60,000 because that's who you gave that to."
Right.
But I can understand and I can see how it could get messy, and just whereas, it comes down to the penny. You owe me this and not this and that. But if we had sold the home...
Wait a minute. And y'all never had that conversation?
We never had that conversation, and that's what I'm saying. It starts with, because I didn't know that his mom had given him
Now you see,
down payment
wait a minute.
for the home.
And at the time, you were straight and living in a legal marriage with the man who became who was the father of your children, your ex-husband. Right. Y'all never had that conversation.
After 5 years of being in that home is when I went and we put my name on the house. Mm-hmm. But I had invested just about as much as he had. He was there about a year before I was, so we did a lot of renovations. It came out of sweat equity out of both of us. Mm-hmm. So, it wasn't like I didn't consider it. He never not considered it mine, and vice versa. But his mother was like, "Oh, well, let me just throw a monkey wrench in there." I'm like, "Hold up, that was the agreement with you and your son. He might need to give you 60,000,
and you knew nothing of it, and that's an excellent example.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So just have those conversations, because it can get it can get murky, and I have learned from experience. Have the conversation, because it
excellent example.
It gets crazy.
And here's Sharyn, the old warrior here, lesbian warrior. I've lived with several women throughout my life, and I would say, I just ask people, please just be fair. It tears my heart. If you think I'm going to argue with you over a big screen television and some artificial suede sectional, I'm just not going to do it. It is just too easy. You say I'm easy?
No, me neither.
No, I mean, you can have it, sweetie. Evidently, it means more to you than it does to me. Now, I mean, I've walked away from 2 houses. I've walked away from several little love nests. When it's over, it's over. And we don't have to get nasty. We ain't got to get mean, but you do need to get out. Okay? So, and if I'm the one that, if me staying here makes things worse, I will leave. But I knew it was long since over. You're angry that the relationship has dissolved, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it. I didn't know you was actually sleeping with somebody that I knew, somebody that we knew, And so, you're dealing with all that emotion. So I don't know how out of that you get enough clarity to say, oh yeah, and I want all the furniture. You know what I mean? And especially the big TV. I don't get that. If that's what you're focusing on, God bless you. You got it all. Just don't mess up my silk shirts, and I'm out. So if you find yourself in that situation, or even going toward that situation, it's never too late to try to make things right, or put it back, put the train back on tracks or something. Even if you're at the bottom of the 6th inning and you see which way it's going. First of all, as Rosa said, of course, have the conversation. Too many of us don't have the conversation, and then when we do have the conversation, it may not be the correct conversation to have. Right. And don't have the conversations when you're in bed, okay, having fun. Okay, that's not the time to talk business. Okay.
Afterwards could be a time everybody's relaxed and happy. I mean, it could be a time, but
you know what I'm saying. I mean, just being clear, and it's not like in between, the big O, and no, that's not the time to talk about it. Talk about it when you're sane, sober, clear. You do need to talk about it. What happens when, we talked about it, but we didn't agree. We agreed, but we didn't write it down. We wrote it down, but it wasn't certified. It was certified, but it wasn't notarized. It was notarized, but damn, I lost it. So
when it's orally, you've lost it. So
nobody is still a contract, but it's too easy to deny.
Right. And that's
she said I would get half of the equity. Says who?
Right.
You and the mouse that's in your pocket. So I'm just saying, do go legal. So what happens when, okay, let's accelerate. You had the conversation. You did some of the paperwork, but not all the paperwork. Y'all have broken up, and now you're just trying to inform her, sweetie, we know things have changed. I'm sorry things went down the way they did, but you still owe me $5,000. And allow her time to exhale. And, well, hey, did you get my messages? If you don't get your message, your text, your phone calls, and that's when you follow it up with the right, get it certified, get it delivered, get it do whatever 5 steps, 7, 9, 11. And if you have to, go through the sheriff department to get it delivered to her, she gonna get it, because this is legal now, and this is money. I'm telling you, you already broke my heart, but let's not mess up the rest of our lives, your lives and mine. I thought I thought you were a different type person. And whether it's
But
5,000,
even though,
2,500,
yeah,
or 250,000, the bottom line is be fair to her because you want her to be fair to you, and we don't have to be nasty.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But that's when it comes down to when you're saying, whether it's 5,000, 2,000, whatever, that comes down to you trying to figure out if that was a loan or they gave it to you, because it could have been just as easy, for her to say, "Oh, my car cost $5,000 to get fixed," and she gave her $5,000 to get it fixed, but they went on about their merry way, and nobody really even bought
And
that
that's
up.
that's
But now the
okay.
person's bringing it up,
Right.
since y'all now mad at each other, going your separate ways. But while they were with you, it was a gift.
Right.
Now that they are not with you, it was a loan. So that's why you need to get the stuff
Right.
in writing, or say it when it, at that time.
In real time.
Like,
right.
hey, my car costs $5,000 to get
get
fixed.
fixed.
If I give you $5,000, I'm gonna expect it back. Period. Now, when they pay you back, that's up to y'all.
And how they pay you back is up to y'all.
I'm just saying, make it clear.
But make it clear. Absolutely.
Because that person may not then want to borrow it at that point. They might be like, okay, no, my mom's just going to give it to me, or whatever it may be.
I don't care if you get it from your
I'm
dead
saying
uncle,
that, but if
horse,
they get
the
it
money,
from you,
we're going to get the money back.
Right.
If you're a righteous person, and remember, you don't want to do anything to somebody that you don't want done to yourself.
Right.
And if you got to spin back the tapes and think about the times when you were so in love with her, love her enough to be fair to her. Now, Rosa, we don't rehearse our conversations. We come up with the subject, and sometimes it's difficult to come up with the subject, but this is very close to my heart because been there, done that. Okay, I've been kind, I've been gracious, I've been extremely generous, I've been dogged out, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? But my thing is, like I say, if I got it once, I'll get it again. I'm not going to argue with you about a house full of furniture. Now, I need to talk to you about the mortgage because if we skip that mortgage one time, it's going to show up on both our credits.
Right.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So business is business. And Rosa will tell you, yes, I believe Sharyn truly loves me and I love Sharyn. But I don't play with business. Do I? No. Business is business. I love my wife very, very much. And I stay warm. My heart is warmed by the love that I get from her. But sweetie, I'm going to tell you, in the morning while we eating them grits and eggs and she makes the bacon nice and crispy, which I can't eat anymore too much because I'm on Weight Watchers. But you understand what I'm saying? We talk business. And sometimes I know it's not the thing we want to talk about, but we have to.
Yeah.
We have to because the children are involved. She has 2 children, which means now I have 2 stepchildren. Wanted to make sure when I came into her life, make sure all your old business with your ex-husband is taken care of, because I really am not into ex-husbands. Know that. Truly have this much tolerance for them. You know what I mean? Oh, you smiling, huh? I really don't. Pow, I ain't got time for it. But take care of your business so I don't have to help you take care of our business, because when I tell her, your business is our business. And the reverse is true.
Yes.
I go out there and make the wrong business move, it's going to pow on both of us.
Yes.
And the reverse is true.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're what was warm has begun to chill. Things are different. Things are very different. Things are over. And you still got to take care of the business, which is if she owes you money or you owe her money, be fair, be honest, be truthful. Again, don't treat anybody the way that you wouldn't, any other way than you would like to be treated yourself. It's hard, accept the fact that it is over.
Yeah.
And even if y'all were to get back and get past that pain and maybe can have lunch together again 18 months later, I'm not having lunch with you when you owe me $5,000.
But sometimes you do have to just get past some stuff. Like, then it's not going to give you your money, and you may have to just,
suck it up
and take that L.
Well, that's okay for the first time. What happens when it happens again?
No, I'm saying after they leave, if you say, okay, you owe me $2,500, and I'm just in my mind like, oh, I guess I'm never gonna get the $2,500. I'm not going be begging nobody. I'm not going to hound
No.
you. I'm not. You know that you owe me because I've told you before you left.
Yeah.
And so you know that, and I'm not gonna hound you. You gonna pay me or you not gonna pay me? Like that then becomes, that person's issue. If they don't do right, then they just don't do right. You've done
Yeah.
what you needed to do.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. I'm going to buy about 50% of that. My thing is, God sees it all.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And maybe. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to speak to you when I see you, because Lord knows I've had a couple of people that's still in my life rotating around California. I can say hello. I can leave loving you, but I'm also trying to respect you. You know what I mean? And I've been treated very well at the breakup, and then I've been treated pretty unfairly. So you pay for your lessons.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I am 68, just turned 68. I'm 68.1 years old. The stuff that you got over on me at 25, I'm a whole different woman. Hell, I don't even look the same.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you pay for your lessons. And I understand, love, care for you, and I'm now legally married to Rosa, but business is business, and we had to take care of business, and we had to be fair, and I'm looking out for her welfare, she's looking out for mine, and we're looking out for us. Everything doesn't go down well in lesbian land. You know that. I'm just saying, I don't care what the situation is, you love her, she loves you, or profess that you do. Guys, take care of business. If things don't go the way you want it to, I don't want y'all. I don't want y'all on the 6 o'clock news talking about two lesbians fighting over a timeshare or over a ring or over the new Mercedes, which ain't so new anymore. That kind of things. You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about today.
Absolutely.
Y'all been there. Some of y'all been through it, and we don't want anybody to get hurt, taken advantage of. But like I said, be fair.
Absolutely, be fair.
Yeah. So with that, that's where we're at. We're always wishing you the very best
of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke. And happy Pride again and again and again. We celebrate Pride 365.
Evidently.
So, hey. All right. Love you.